hotel is a little bit too far away. Maybe it's not so sad that that's happening. However, guys, what we will jump straight into is the draft. Enough of this talk about the hotels, the Serbs, the Kazakhstanis are about the play.
I really like 7's banner.
10 seconds.
Just 7?
I mean, well, like, Serbia's is just the country
Serbia,
flag, right?
Yeah.
So
7's is 7.
We
don't care.
But it's nice and trim, right? I love to see some national flags that are nice and trim like that.
Yeah. What do you think about the streamed flag of Serbia? Is it good?
I mean, they barely squeezed it on by the looks of it. But we are seeing some quick bans coming out. Nothing too unexpected here. We're not going to see any cheeky IO picks. Actually, 7 themselves opt to ban it out. They're not going to try something as cheesy as that against Team Serbia.
Yeah, and on the other side we see the Darkseer and the Nyx banned out. Nothing unconventional there. You just don't want to be playing versus those heroes. They're really strong. Interesting, the Darkseer is banned that early on, though. Usually you ban him with... You don't ban him, you just pick Oracle, right? But
yeah.
And Oracle hasn't been banned out, so banning out both the Darkseer and...
Even more interesting than Liz is that Bounty Hunter ban. That's something we don't really see teams opt to dive into, especially early on.
We watched only one game of Serbia, so perhaps they picked it at one point. Maybe that's the reason why it's banned out.
I think they have one win, right? So maybe that's the game they won.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
Some Bounty Hunter offlane. I mean, it is a strong hero. I don't think Serbs have any chances of
qualifying.
Of qualifying, yeah.
Yeah, they're out the running. 7 Esports. Now they could still give an upset here if they beat Team Serbia. They then next go up against Hippomaniacs, and Hippomaniacs can't afford to lose that, or they end up in a tiebreaker scenario. In which case, it'll be them and 7 Esports facing off again. And keep in mind, that would also be 7 Esports going in with momentum, right? You go in that game against Hippomaniacs,
I don't think anyone has momentum after a full day of DOTA. That momentum is...
You don't get that rush at the end when you realize, actually, I'm still in the running?
Man, that rush... Yeah, you still have it, but it's very difficult to explain it. Like, you have the rush, but the rush is also accompanied by a lot of stress and a lot of tiredness from the full day of just playing one game after another.
Well, there's plenty of coffee and monsters and energy drinks behind the bar.
What, we came here at 8, now it's 8, so 12 hours already of DOTA.
But it's what we love, Liz.
I'm not
saying... It's what we love to see.
I'm not saying
it's what they love to play. You know, they should be grateful. They should work harder. They can win money here in a qualifier.
Yeah, they definitely can. Third place gives you, what, $700, $500?
I think so. $1,500 for first place.
Yes, then 700 second, 500 third. I mean, it's still a decent amount of money. Like, it's nice to... It's nice to win something, you know.
I mean, I'll get you a few cheeky meals at a few Greek restaurants around here.
Let's see, Warlock plus Earth Spirit.
Hello.
That's a lot of damage already. From the Fatal Bonds, from Earth Spirit's Magnetize, that's a bunch of damage already. And on the side of Team Serbia, it's Sand King. Solid pick. Can be played as 4, can be played as 3. Like, they took that Earth Spirit away from Serbs, too. It's a really good pickup for them. So, taking away that Earth Spirit from LeBron is definitely a good way to go about in your first phase. As LeBron used to be an Earth Spirit spammer, he loves that hero, plays it really well.
So what are you looking to maybe couple here? Do you think we see something like the Sand King with Rubik? I think is the one we've been seeing a fair amount of. You could maybe see the Lina that we've seen before. It's not terrible, but at the same time you're up against a Warlock, I guess, is the counter-argument.
I think the first game that we watched, let's see, actually, it's going to be the Ember very early picked up.
Very early indeed, especially with the Earth Spirit being shown already.
Yeah, Earth Spirit does give you that opportunity to catch him on that mid lane, silence him later on in the game as well. Stun into silence is definitely a possibility. But overall, Ember Spirit is just a very strong hero at the moment, so I'm actually surprised we didn't see more of Earth Spirit early on. I believe we've seen only one game of Earth Spirit earlier today. Now he's been picked up again.
And I believe this is the first or the second game of Ember? I think it's the first. No, there was...
What? Of which
Ember Spirit.
Second. We saw one when he was playing versus Windrunner on mid.
Yeah, and that was a remake.
Yeah. So
Earth Spirit, I think this is the second time as well.
Yeah. So 2 spirits coming
Spirit Bros, they are match for match in popularity
coming in second time today, both of them. We see the Leshrac ban on 7. On the side of Team Serbia, they ban out the OD and the Monkey, just heroes that deal very, very well with the Ember. You still can go for something like a Razor. That's a possibility for 7 Esports if you really want to dominate him on that mid lane. But then there's an opportunity for them to put the Ember safe lane and then something else mid, like Mirana or Queen of Pain. and then you just countered a hero that's not even on the lane, so that's not optimal.
Yeah, we saw last game what happens when you overthink the lanes a little bit too much. You can sometimes trap yourself in your own draft and leave yourself with no effective tools against your opponents.
10 seconds remaining.
See where they want to go in this opening phase, because 7 have yet to reveal a core. Most
5
likely they'll
seconds
pick
remaining.
either the carry or the offlaner here. We usually see teams kind of opt for the carry at this stage or the mid. And then leave the offlane until one more pick in so you have a response.
I mean, they already picked their 2 supports, right, on the side of 7, which
Yes.
isn't really optimal when you're drafting, right? As you can give them the opportunity to pick something that's really strong on that offlane. Like right now, when I see Warlock and Earth Spirit, like initially my thoughts would be Batrider, but Bat has been banned out. But you would think about Darkseer, but Darkseer has been banned out. So they opened up very well with their bans. Considering what they drafted, and they went with the Mars now. Interesting, Mars wasn't picked up by Team Serbia, but how they played it earlier is the reason why. It's not because the hero isn't strong, it's because they underperformed so heavily with that hero. They just did nothing with Mars.
Team pick.
And now the Undying is picked up. Alright. You have 2 strength heroes coming to your lane, right? You have the Mars and the Earth Spirit. So having Undying there is definitely very beneficial for you. You'll be able to fight off Mars and Earth Spirit very, very well. You just decay them, get a lot of strength and fight them back. Like, you don't really care.
And right now, no one on the side of 7 really brings that attack speed that can burn through the tombstones quickly in the mid-game. We'll have to see if 7 can address that now. They could look towards something like a Troll Warlord. But at the same time, you maybe are picking that a bit early, especially with Razor not being banned out.
Yeah, I think... Let's see, do they have the last pick? They do. They're definitely going for their core right now. Be it Jug, be it Sven, be it Troll like you just called. Those are the options for them. Troll is pretty decent versus the Tombstone. They could go with something like PL as well, but it's not great. They go with their midder instead. They go with the Death Prophet, alright? I mean, Death Prophet does not have a lot of counters. Lina comes to my mind right now for Team Serbia, but then you're rolling Ember safe lane and Lina mid. 2 cores that again have a very difficult time at taking objectives, so I don't think that's going to be the case. What else can you be thinking about? You can be thinking about not even picking your mid right now, but just picking that other support that you're lacking, or the offlaner. You can give that away right now.
There is the potential, you mentioned it, for them to run the Ember in the safe lane, then pick something like a Pugna maybe, which will give you some tower push. It will offset DP's aggression and ramp up in the laning phase as well. Combos fairly well with their heroes. Okay.
Alright, listen guys, they are done.
They're done. They know they don't qualify.
They know that they can't qualify, so...
We're done theorizing their draft. Let's see what 7 want to do.
They just want to have some fun and that's it. We might see a very, very long game here, boys and girls. You're in for a ride. Maybe they're just gonna blast off into the oblivion with the Steckies pick, but maybe we see a very long game in which Steckies becomes unstoppable later on with all the mines and whatnot.
I mean, if they were really just fully trolling out, they would have went for like Pudge, Abaddon, and
no,
Techies.
their lineup does not look like they're trolling completely.
That's what I mean. Like they did, because then if they go for like Abaddon, Techies, and Pudge, they can beat Team Suicide and always dead like their chances of qualifying.
I have to say though that I liked 7 Esports draft a lot by the 4th pick.
Really?
Yeah, and with the 7 Esports. And with that 4th pick, their lineup looked like very hard to counter with the last 2 picks of Serbia. So them picking the Steckies is just realizing that their draft isn't that good, perhaps, as well. I'm not necessarily even talking about the picks, I'm talking about the bans. Like, they had no ways of really dealing with the DP on the mid lane, properly at least, that in a way in which it combos well with the Ember. You know what I mean? That's their problem. Like DP, you have no hero that's gonna deal with her, and also check the box for tower push. But perhaps you could have picked something that pushes towers on the offlane, and then something that doesn't do that on your other core. That was a possibility for them. Instead, they decided to go for Techies.
I mean, Techies pushes towers, Liz.
Of course it does. You plant that mine and you push. Why not? It's
Left
good.
to his own devices can be pretty effective.
Yeah, it also pushes you into a low priority queue. That's what it does as well. It does it very well. I felt that. It pushes you so far in low priority you go into behavior score F. That's my favorite thing to have.
I wonder if that's just because you picked Techies, Liz.
I mean, yeah, that's what I just said.
Probably because you picked Ench as well.
No, Techies is the hero that I played and that got me to behavior score F. Not, I have to admit, not a fun place to be. Surrounded by Chappy, surrounded by liches that buy Ghost Scepters instantly and go and Shadow Amulets and just go and run somewhere in the trees. Not a very great situation. It's hard when you're playing techies because you can't practice the hero. You can't play it in pubs.
It is a problem. Unless you plan to have several Smurfs instead of just one.
It is a hero that's picked more often recently, though. We see it.
That's mainly, I'd say, Xi'an and FNG.
Xi'an,
So
FNG. There's some ESL teams that picked it up a couple of times too that aren't
I believe
Russian.
LGD picked it up once against Secret.
Yeah, and Secret picked it, I
Secret,
believe.
oh yeah, I
and then
believe
they lost.
Yeah,
they lost.
They lost pretty convincingly.
I think they went techies Pudge, actually. So
Yeah, so Serbia, do not go Pudge.
why not?
Because statistically, in recent times, it doesn't have a great win rate.
I mean, if you pick techies right now, you can do whatever. Techies can be your position 4, actually. Then you put Sanking on the offlane. Or techies can be 3 and you put Sanking on position 4. I like it with Sanking on the offlane, actually. You have a lot of kill potential between the two of them. You have the stun into the suicide, into the blast off.
In theory, it's not bad against Mars as well. Like, you can actually lace the area and bait him to use bad arenas.
Yeah. Mind the arenas. Monkas.
That's some James Bond Fury arena blowing up.
Let's go, Medusa. Alright, so
Okay.
this isn't a joke draft anymore. This is definitely not a joke draft anymore as Medusa is picked up. There's a plan behind the draft. You have the techies to delay the game and Medusa to take it to the late game and win it. But 7 Esports instantly responding with the AM. AM versus Duza obviously can go AM's way if he gets like some, let's say a Basher Manta early on and jumps on top of her. But if the game goes super late, it's actually, in my opinion, at least not AM favored any longer. Medusa just does more than an AM when it comes to team fights, right?
It's also Mars tends to peak off later on in the game as well, once you get these BKBs online. And Ember, Techies, Medusa, these heroes can just continue to have more and more relevance as the game goes on.
Yeah, so it's going to be actually that position 4 techies and offlane Sand King, it seems, at least by the pick of these players. On the other side, nothing really extraordinary. God and position 5 Warlock, 4 on that third spirit offlane. Mars, mid lane, Dead Prophet and safe lane AM, so just as expected pretty much.
The hope that they're going to have is that the AM can get enough space while the DP pushes into towers. We've seen something similar earlier today from a DP pick. We'll see if it can actually be replicated here as we get underway. To remind those just tuning in, 7 Esports, they still have a chance to qualify for China by upsetting Hippomaniacs. If they win here, they have enough points to go into the match against Hippomaniacs and force a draw, which would lead to a tiebreaker. Everything to play for. That kind of shows itself in their draft, the more traditional one, with the AM carrying through and Mars plus DP really focusing that mid game to create enough space.
I wonder like how much Medusa can even do to this Mars third spirit lane. I think it should be easy for Medusa plus Undying. I don't think she's going to be pressured way too heavily. On the other hand, we see the Anti-Mage plus Goddamn. I believe AM also shouldn't have too much of a difficult lane considering he does have that Warlock to spam the heals. But you know what? AM has very low hero health pool, right? So if he gets harassed a lot by the techies and Sand King, stun into suicides could be just enough and your heals do not matter then. You have to start healing him very early with Warlock, so you don't let him go below 50%. If he goes below 50%, he can just die.
Of course, there will be at least one early point, most likely from the Anti-Mage into his counterspell, which he can also use against that Burrow Strike that can come out from the Sand King if timed correctly. So that is an element to keep in consideration for the techie Sand King lane.
Interesting that Grzin is running away from the Sand King. I guess he doesn't want to use his stun super early on. That's the reason he gets that bounty. On the other side, LeBron takes his. 2 bounties each team. Once again, nothing really extraordinary. Surprised that they didn't contest them on the top lane a bit harder, right?
Yeah.
Because of the decay. Like he doesn't have, like he used mana, but he has no decay stacks, which makes me think that he actually missed his decay. But that's not good. Like even if you fight them on the bounty rune as Undying, you're taking their strength away. And when they come to the lane, they have less strength. So I'm surprised he wasn't fighting them earlier. Like even here, they can't fight him. He's very strong. I'm surprised also he didn't buy a stout. He went for 4 mangoes. Usually you see them go for 1 mango less, but with the stout.
It is a peculiar choice. And on the other side, Spirit did start with the Stout instead of the Orb of Venom, knowing that they can't.
Yeah, bottom lane
outdo the
LeBron getting really, really low.
Oh, he's going to go down. First blood drawn.
He goes down to the Fatal Bonds. That's very unfortunate for him. They get him.
I mean, Techies expects to die in some capacity, but usually you hope it's going to be a suicide.
Yeah, 300 gold given away to Goddam, which allows him to buy that stick early on and to just lane just a little bit better versus the Techies plus the Sand King.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's looking even for the second, but the creep wave is pushing in. So we'll see how this actually goes. DP should be safer to actually farm these up and has decent damage.
It's not too hard for Ember to play this lane. It's actually DP that has to be a little bit careful, because as long as you time your Flame Guard well, you can deal with her. So if she uses the Crypt Swarm, you use your Flame Guard afterwards. If you play around that, you should be fine as Ember. You even have some kill potential on that lane.
Yeah, this is usually the catch about Ember matchups in these one-on-one scenarios is if he just chooses to tank the first source of magic damage, do you have enough to then nuke out his Flame Guard afterwards?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
And in most matchups, it's not the case.
So far we see these two position ones just farming really well. 8 CS on Duza, 8 on AM. Not really super contested. It should change once the levels are there.
Especially if they could maybe land a few roll-ins here.
Yeah. There's a double damage Techies. Beware, people. 64 damage coming your way. That's very, very spooky right there. But he doesn't even need that double damage to take down... Oh, now is the chance for him.
He's ready to shake his booty. Gonna go in. Last off down to the low ground. Gets up to the high ground. Slight Fist. One more hit coming out. But there's the Fairy Fire. Keeps him alive. He'll salve up.
Yeah, and Warlock is rotating in. LeBron has to be careful. He has no port.
Yeah, he also has no blast off now.
Why is Warlock not fighting him? Why is he running away?
He heard what you said. He fears it because now it's 70 damage.
Yeah, but you have Shadow Word and 57% damage, 57 damage, and he has 50% HP. Why aren't you fighting him? Warlock's just going back bottom, alright? I guess he wants to help his AM instead and not waste his time. That does make sense.
Then again, AM's not really suffering because it's more or less a gentleman's agreement.
I'm just trying to make an excuse for him.
No, we don't do this.
Yeah, he definitely could have fought him, so... Yeah.
Peculiar choice.
There's 2 Sal's on Techie, so maybe that's the reason. He can heal up, and you don't want to trade very well with him. Too much with him, that is.
It's true, but at the same time you had full mana, right? You're in this scenario where you want to actually just throw out some spells.
Top lane, we see a big fight going between Gogi and
they get down. God's Rebuke gets the kill. Malik got pretty low, and Undying had gone to pull the creep wave through.
This isn't like... Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm flaming these teams a little bit too much every now and then. But that's not the way to play the Undying on that lane. You just have to... Oh, Grisine.
Oh.
Yeah, they had 2 sentries. He had only 1.
That one's a little bit more acceptable of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, it's not really a mistake.
He had 1 more sentry, but he wasn't able to use it, so they take him down. Also on the top lane, if you're playing Undying plus Medusa, you never leave the lane. You just literally never go to pull. That's the way you play this. You just stand and zone them. You're very, very strong versus these 2 cores, versus these 2 heroes that are strength-based. Like, as Undying, you can just destroy them if you are standing there. If you leave the lane, Medusa is free kill instantly afterwards.
It's that type of lane that you don't actually care about the creep equilibrium, because if you just shove it under tower, it's always going to come back to you.
You don't even have to shove. As long as you're positioning yourself with Undying, it's not like you have to be always tanking the creeps or anything such as that. Your Medusa can control the lane. Mid lane?
Mid, they tried again. This time they succeed. Hannah does fall. Nikolika will stay alive with his own Fairy Fire. Nikolitsa.
Imagine T and Z there. Za. Yeah, it's like a small Nicola. That's how you would translate that around here, I guess.
Possibly.
Diminutive. What's the word, man? I'm
diminutive.
Diminutive, yeah, because I'm losing my words here. I'm tongue twisting myself.
It's a long day.
Yeah, it's been a 12-hour shift. It's all right. Not too long, but it's been all right.
Just the right size.
All right, 3 bounties going the way of Serbia. Any more bounties?
It's going to be
4 bounties. Oh my god.
All right, there's the booster they needed.
The Serbs are here stealing your gold. Run, people. Harry Freak running to top lane. Oh, suicide.
LeBron, that's not how you dunk like LeBron, that's for sure. Because he has actually gone for 2 points in the counter spell now. We expected 1 point, 2 this early.
3 points in counter. He has a lot of magic resistance. So 35% versus LeBron's suicide, it's really good. Harry Freak falls on the top lane.
Under his own tower as well. Well, this seems... Is this Medusa's revenge?
He went away and now Undying. I mean, I don't know whose revenge it is, but they're really mad at each other. I played with them. I mean, I talked to them after they played a little bit, and they're dissatisfied with the result that they're having, obviously. I mean, even on paper, when you check these players out, they're strong. It's very strange that they are suffering so hard in the tournament. Nikolica falls on mid.
Wow, that's an unexpected death from Nikolica there. Yeah. Hannah gets a solo kill. Did commit the exorcism, but the creep wave is here with the catapult.
Very freak, though. Can he stay alive over here? As they do manage to stun him, they take him down.
They'll be able to find him, and they can follow up the tombstone as well. This top lane is crumbling for Serbia.
6-1 so far by the side of Kazakhstan, as they're just destroying them on these lanes. There isn't a really whole lot that they did so far on the side of Serbia. They did take down Hannah once on mid lane, but that's it. They need to wake up, shake things up a little bit, and get together. Just, I don't know.
They need to do something. Techies does at least have the Soul Ring now, so begin his infestation of mines across
That's true, though. I'm stressing them out way too hard. The only thing you need to do is chill. You have techies. LeBron right now is telling guys,
I got it. I'll drag it out.
I'm ex-Navi player playing techies. Like, I got this. Relax. I'll do this. He plants the first mine there, in which multi-brand does not go in. I see this is one of the 3 mines that he's going to plant on this hill.
And then move on to the next hill and the next hill. Yeah. And before you know it, AM can't go anywhere. Or you could just farm the creep waves.
Yeah, he helps Medusa there to farm that. And
actually, yes, this is kind of this is an important preview into what's coming for the side of Serbia, as none of them have any way of locking down this Earth Spirit for quite a while.
But this is a little bit too early, as this Techis might just fall here. He's dead.
He's going to be punished here. He'll try and get the blast off, but the final hit comes in.
Ember rotates in, but he already used his Flame Guard to try and farm the medium camp there, so he wasn't really able to help out. Overall, Dastan and his 7 boys are definitely dominating these lanes. They're playing much better than the Serbs so far, at least.
And they're going top again. Undying all alone, pinned against the tree and surrounded on all sides. Will fall. And I guess the other thing, the really important thing to look at here is the level disparity between the Ember and the DP.
Yeah, the DP level 8, Ember, what, level 7?
Yeah,
DP did get that. DP did get that one solo kill, which makes a world of difference.
Rosini is at least trying to slow things down here a bit, or you could argue it's the other way around. He did pull through the creep wave. DP just trying to be a little bit frustrated. Needs to get back to the lane and continue to just ramp up in XP, because once you got the exorcism, you want an opportunity to push on this tower.
Once he gets that veil, perhaps he's going to be able to do a bit more in the lanes, but right now he can't even contest that AM as he has the sentries.
And with 3 points in the counterspell, there's no likelihood that you're going to actually pick him off anytime soon.
Yeah, you see where Medusa is already. He went to the triangle. Oh, AM. He's trying to trade hits. Yeah, you can't. You can't.
With no mana left, you can't burn.
Maybe the mines? Mines?
Oh, no. He knows something's up. Ooh.
He's going to go for the second one.
You're an AM, you want to farm. Oh!
That third one could have exploded.
It sounded like they both popped.
Yeah, the second one could have definitely exploded. But he understands that he has 3 levels in counterspell. He's not going to fall to it. Proximity mines and blast off is both magical. Proximity mines actually used to be physical before.
Yes, got changed. And Warlock didn't learn about any of that magic damage, however. Molly Brand and Malik did. They're moving in now. There's a DD on the Ember, so they'll be hesitant to commit too heavily here, but they have the Exorcism. And
they have the Exorcism, they have the Rock. I believe they are committing here.
Yeah, there's no Flame Guard really left. If he gets hit once by any magical damage, it's going to be gone as well. They force out the Glyph pretty early.
The Sleight of Fist does help you out a bit, but it's only level 2. That's a long cooldown. So you can't really just deal with the push easily with that Sleight of Fist.
And they do have the arena, so you can't commit too heavily and risk getting pinned up against that wall, because you are pretty squishy at this point.
I mean, you have the Rock, right? You have Golem, so that's the worst thing.
And level 3 fail bonds as well.
Medusa did manage to go back to that top lane though to farm.
Okay, Undying wanting to put the arena on cooldown. Very good commitment from the support.
Yeah, it's a level 4 Undying. He can buy a tome right now to get some levels. Same can be said for the techies. You should buy the tome on techies as soon as possible. His talents are very, very important to him, so getting level 10 and onwards is really good. Same can be said. Same can't be said for Undying, as his peak is level 1. After that, like, he used to have a huge peak on level 15, as he was able to get that tombstone before on level 15 on death. Sadly, the hero got nerfed to the ground when they rotated that to level 20. Ever since it's level 20, the hero is just not nearly as strong as he was.
It takes too long. This is a type of hero that, well, you kind of expect to be going down first usually, so it's not like you're going to be around to grab all that XP from a good fight. Which is ironic due to his name. But he's rotating towards bot, just going to get a ward down. There isn't really an easy way for them to just focus down this AM, who now has the maxed out blink and the counter spell with 3 points in it.
He's definitely a hard kill to make. They do have that Veil, but they need the Ember at least. And that Ember does have help with the invisibility rune, so perhaps he can do something with that. Let's see.
They didn't actually spot the Undying originally, now they'll see him.
Yeah, but he does not see Ember.
Xi'an Chain's going to be there, counter spell being used though, should buy him enough time, but the Barrow Strike comes out, he can still blink away though. They're going to chase forward, wrong way though.
Yeah, and the Golem is there.
Golem gets dropped as well, they're looking to turn around on this. They have got the arena to work with, there's going to be a split straight away, Serbia looking to get out, nice roll through, connect, Boulder smashing back the Undying. And we clubbed in the face by the Chaos Golem, cleaved down by Malik.
You just traded this rotation for a Golem, for an Undying obviously, but that Prophet rotated too. Perhaps if Sand King dies.
The arena goes down. They're going to find him, pin him up against the wall, and Sand King has no escape. Even though he has the Fire Strike off cooldown, it's going to be a double kill for Malik and a push into a tier 1.
Yeah, for Team Serbia, that would have been worth it if Sand King survives, but the Sand King dies is definitely not.
And now they should see threats in multiple locations because there is an Exorcism available. Maybe if they can actually start to shove in the top lane, they can force that out of Medusa's hand and look on there. In the meantime, there's a committed push in the bot lane for this tier 1, while AM will just farm up the jungle and, well, just exploit to the maximum the gold he's going to get in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, right now 11-1, 12 minutes in, 3k ahead for Kazakhstan. Serbs, they need to shake things up. They need to create rotations with multiple heroes if they're planning to take down anyone, but I believe what they're planning on is just farming and chilling, just mining up their own side of the map and farming up with that Medusa, and that's about it. You can see that Medusa has 2 raid bans. Yasha, he's actually on top of the network, interchanging with that AM any second as the creeps fall, so...
He is going for the Mask of Madness though.
It's alright, when you're playing versus AM, this is one of the builds that you can go for. When you're playing versus AM, Nyx versus...
Mars in trouble, getting pretty low. They commit the Tombstone to try and heal him off the Shadow Word. He should be able to kite this out and move away, although it does hurt a lot. With the Magnetize going, they actually need to retreat. There's going to be a Remnant coming in from Ember. Xi'an Chain's out. Target will get rid of him. The Barrow Strike, he's down.
That's a 7 kill streak going there.
Roll in. The Failed Bonds is active still. They're going to renew the Magnetize. They're going to go through and look for the kill on the Sand King. And Ember getting pretty low. Has the Flame Guard to protect himself, but they might pursue this further. They keep the Remnant stacks going with the Magnetize. They're looking to finish this off. They can't get him low enough just yet. The roll in, just off the mark. Multi-brand does have the Boulder Smash. Remnant just came off cooldown. He can go for the long-range snipe. Let's see if he's going to try for it. Actually turns around for the easy kill. Harry Freak's going to die instead.
I believe Harry Freak lost some decay stack there as well, so he was dealt a lot more damage than he expected to be dealt. And yeah, overall you see the power of Fatal Bonds plus Magnetize. It's just way too much damage. They couldn't deal with it. Ember does survive in the end though.
And he'll hang around, try and slow down this push a little bit, try and force maybe the Exorcism out. There it is. They silence him up as well. They'll try and chase through. They can't get the kill on him, but they can get the kill into the tower. Sand King moving in now, needs to be careful, get silenced up.
Nice
Boulder Smash, sidestep, nice deny, but now give his life for it with the arena committed. They'll kill him off. They might continue a push here. The Exorcism has a decent amount of duration left.
Yeah, definitely. As he's dead right now, they can continue pushing, but Nikolza did a really good thing. He took the creeps away, so they have to tank the tower at least. And right now you can see that Prophet is definitely capable of tanking, but he has to be careful. Exorcism is about to go back in, so...
He'll heal up. He did get a Bracer alongside the 2 nullies just to tank out a little bit at 1500 HP.
I see some players doing that, yeah. Just tanking up a bit on that DP.
It's understandable because you play a similar role to Razor, who has a lot more strength game, right? Where you just want to be up in their face with the Spirit Siphons running. Saves you against a lot of this easy nuke damage that can come out from certain lineups, especially one with techies in it.
Look at Dire jungle. It's completely mined off, so you can't really approach Gogi without him knowing it. It's very difficult at least. LeBron does not take that bounty rune, has to run towards his mines right now. But as you can see, AM isn't willing to continue the chase.
It's kind of one of those obvious scenarios, like, oh no, who will save me? Follow me! Please, I'm an helpless techies.
Exactly.
Not again. Not after all my pub games. Looks like, goddamn, is heading towards the Glimmer Cape next. It's going to be a long way off, though. He's just a measly Warlock. He at least has a lot more gold than Harry Freak.
Yeah, it's more important what your AM and Mars are getting. Mars is getting closer to that. Blink Dagger, AM has the Battle Fury. I believe he just completed it. Well, he has 800 gold, so He completed it maybe a minute ago.
And ramp up the farm. Meanwhile,
it will definitely ramp up the farm.
mid, there's a smoke movement. Roll in, silence out on Nikolica, and they'll be able to follow it up with the silence from the Death Prop.
Oh,
They
he
actually
pushes
push him out of
him
the
out.
arena though. No, they're going to chase through. They're getting blown
Still
up. The
though.
Remnant too late to escape. That was an interesting interaction. Almost worked in his favor, but a little bit too much damage, and now they can just continue
Was
pushing
he on
with
the
catapult
edge
here.
of the arena?
It
there?
looked like
Yeah.
it. It was something in, and it looked like he shifted back for a second.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower.
I guess you had to use the spear there. You could onto Remnant.
they did have decent silences. It's a level 1 silence from the DP, and I believe it is the same from the Earth Spirit, so it doesn't last very
You can
long.
see they're pinging out the mines instantly.
They know what's up.
If he goes into it, Sand King might strike. No, Sand King is not going for it. I expected Grizine to maybe go there and stun them as they're going for the mines, but
There is a deep wraparound from Earth Spirit here. Just wants to try and get rid of these by the looks of it.
yeah, he wants to take care. But there's he spots the stasis trap and he can't really.
Push back away. He didn't get down to bot in time to deny the tower though.
Right now, Medusa is farming really well. That's the silver lining for Team Serbia. That's the only silver lining that is for them.
Or maybe if they find a cheeky kill, they got a smoke rotation coming in towards the bot lane. They know Earth Spirit's in the neighborhood.
It's a good kill for them if they can catch him. He's level 10, has a decent chunk of net worth, and they're losing 4k. They're 4k behind, so killing him would be definitely good for them. Grizine is invis. He's gonna scout him. Now
Now
you
they
can.
can just set up perfectly. Nikolica moving across. The bar strike. Blast off. They'll get the kill.
He actually tried to rolling boulder. We didn't even see it, but he tried pre-casting it. They did catch him on time, sadly for him.
Oh, Malik. If he could just see it for a second, he could go for a snipe with a spear. But LeBron will be alive. He'll stay safe.
Yeah, runs back. Actually has Arcane Boots and Soul Ring. This is pretty much the time in which Techies just spams those mines.
There's life on the edge, and as we've seen, just guards his own jungle, sets up that space that the AM can't greedily farm in that we would typically see an AM doing at this stage of the game.
Bottom lane, Grizine.
Sounds
He's silenced, but yeah, they don't have catch.
You don't want to play in the tree line. He has a Hood of Defiance as well. It's not an easy kill anymore.
You need the Earth Spirit there to initiate with, so it's very difficult. Like, they can push. Like, this is the difficulty that Kazakhstan is facing right now. They have these heroes that can push in a mannerly order, right? You have to stand around this Death Prophet and look at her while she uses Exorcism and pushes. But you can't do that because you're afraid of mines. So it's the Techies effect right now coming to play.
Arguably, if you can commit hard into a push, it's kind of better, I guess, from the extent that you use less sentries, right? Because if you got a lot of split pushes...
This is their problem. They don't have any trash. They don't have any creeps that they can throw. No illusions, no treants, summons, necros,
and they
anything
don't
like
have
that.
anyone that really builds into those either.
And you don't have a hero that can just go in and scout for the mines either, as no one is tanky enough. That's why they are taking so much time pushing.
So close to LeBron, but the Virus Strike comes down, the proximity mine's down on the rock. It's too late, Mars is dead. Exorcism committed, they are committed to this fight. DP Spirit siphoning up, staying alive right now. Medusa moving in with the Master Madness active, the Remnant spam through, but the Yule's buying a little bit of time. They need to actually deal with this DP quick with the Virus Strike through. They should be able to do that.
There
She's
you
dead,
go.
and so is the Warlock. They even find Earth Spirit on the side. If only they got the Fatal Bonds combo out before, because it's magnetized. While you might get a kill in Nikolica, you won't get anything else.
Yeah, he might take him down unless there's a heal. No
No,
heals.
he doesn't have anything to slide fist either, so
Yeah,
he
but
will
that's
die.
4 heroes falling. That's what I was talking about. They have no one they can just sacrifice, right? No one to just send in front to tank those mines. No BKBs, no refractions, no treants, no illusions, no summons. And that's why it's so difficult for them to fight. That's why they lose a fight so convincingly, even they're 4k ahead and they have all their big ultis.
Well, Anti-Mage will at least have Mantas soon, but you don't usually look to use those Mantas to scout mines. You want to use them to push and use them to farm.
Even Anti-Mage isn't really the best hero, as he's squishy. We said that before. And basically what these mines are going to force him to do is buy BKB. Eventually, at least.
Quite possibly. I mean,
On
the
level
Manta
25,
helps to a different
yeah, on level 25 he gets 25 more bonus resistance.
That's a long way off, though.
Yeah.
If we drafted around level 25s, this would be a very different meta in Dota. It's in the back of your mind, though. Especially when a Medusa is already up to level 18 and AM's at level 17.
And that Medusa is also 5.5k net worth at the moment. Not net worth, gold in stash, so she can buy something else. Right now, I wonder is it going to be SNY or Manta, or maybe just Skadi right now.
I was wondering about Skadi, or do you just go like heavy damage here?
I think you go heavy damage here. You don't even have to commit. Yeah, he went for a pike, it seems.
Well, it gives him some maneuverability. It does increase your damage a bit. It's not going to tank you up for sure.
And it's kind of difficult to use with split shot. If you're standing way too far, it can be problematic for you as Medusa. But overall, overall you're fine. It's basically what we just talked about. It's more damage, more mobility, and also does not give you more mana for AM to chunk through and just blow you up, right? So it's a good pickup.
Something like a butterfly might have been interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting a butterfly from him. Butterfly, then maybe some crits or something similar, maybe even Satanic afterwards. S and Y butterfly, but yeah.
And then you like building an MKB later because you know AM's likely to go for the butterfly himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Moibrand, are you okay there, buddy?
He's trying to ward.
He's just flexing.
He's giving vision. He's giving vision, basically. Yeah. As they have that sentry right there. You see he's pinging it out.
So you know about the mines here?
He's pretty much being a ward at the moment.
We talk about useless players getting up on a cliff and doing this, but this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
This has a use. I'm not sure what the use is anytime soon, because DP is here, but Mars and Anti-Mage are not. They're actually dangling AM in the top lane.
This already gave them enough vision. I don't think he has to continue pinging out. I believe you've shown us your trick, sir. You can go away. No need to roll on the cliff any longer.
He's trying to find a little bit of relevance here.
He's going to do it some more. He's going to do it some more any second now.
I'm pretty sure this is just Earth Spirit workout. You got to make sure your middle finger works.
Oh, he's trying to climb the hill. There
Failing
we go.
Every time.
There we go.
You're not Arteezy, go home.
Arteezy would somehow get stuck on that cliff, I'm telling you right now. He would roll in and he would get stuck on the other side.
See, Mel keeps trying to roleplay him at the moment. Meanwhile, top, Malik is actually pushing in here, and they are going to charge up the epicenter. Look to stop him here. Blink forward. Maybe not needed to reach with the Burrow Strike, but just to be safe with the Veil active as well. Mars throws down the arena. Will pin one against the wall, but it's too late for him. He's dead. He won't find any kills.
Yeah, suddenly this game isn't really one-sided as it used to be. As you can see, only 2k ahead on the side of Kazakhstan. The Techies pick looked silly at the start, but with that 1-1 team fight, they're doing much better. And the thing is, you want to be playing around this bottom lane if you are Radiant, as that's where Medusa is going to be farming most of the time, right around this triangle. But you can't approach it because of all the mines. It's very frustrating to play against this. Right now, if you are Kazakhstan, you realize that you have that anti-mage and that he's farming really well. He's moving closer towards that Skadi too. But you must be feeling frustrated, like any one of us is when you play against Techies.
This is kind of the thing about the Techies pick in this kind of game, is when you look how the lanes went. Kazakhstan, they were at risk of doing what we've seen through most of the day, this kind of snowball effect that comes into play. But Techies is the perfect pick to just stop that from occurring. You suddenly don't have the freedom of movement. You don't have the means to just move around the map and just punish your opponents for falling behind the laning phase. It's definitely the perfect crutch for them to just get this Medusa stacked up. And as you said, if this goes super late, you like Medusa's chances a lot more than you like the AM's.
Yeah, she's just a little bit stronger in the team fights, but you have to consider the full lineups, right? On one side, you have the Earth Spirit Warlock, Fatal Bonds, you have the Golem, you have your Mars with the Arena. They're definitely very strong.
And on the other side, you have Undying.
Undying is very bad when it comes to scaling. Sand King is alright, Undying definitely isn't. Techies is alright too. Medusa and Ember, nothing. I don't have to say anything.
It says it for itself.
Yeah. But at the same time, I still think that maybe, just maybe, Radiant are a little bit stronger later on. If nothing else, for that Undying.
Well, they have a power spike now, not just because they got their hands on an Aegis, but because the Death Prophet has picked up the Aghanim Scepter now.
Yeah, and with that Aegis, perhaps you have that one extra life to work with, and you can sacrifice your AM to the mines and pressure afterwards. But
oh, the backstabbing here. He has got the high ground of 10 for the epicenter with the Burrow Strike through. Rock gets dropped, Fail Bonds there as well. Used to drop out LeBron. Now the Stone Gaze is going to be there. Silence being used, but DP getting low. Should fall to all this damage coming out. Spirit Siphon will keep you alive for a little bit of time, but Warlock dying alongside
and she's the one without Aegis, remember. So he falls, also got them instantly after. And you did commit that rock, right? So no rock to work with in that next fight. Overall, they're definitely... Oh, AM going towards that.
Welcome to the Mind Fun Zone, but because it's magical damage now, he doesn't feel it as hard.
Yeah, doesn't really lose a whole lot. They do take down 3 bounty runes on the Radiant side. But they are losing this tier 1 on mid. I don't think Radiant can defend this. As Golem was used, and also Exorcism.
Yeah, while the side of Serbia did use a lot, so did you. The Rock is the biggest deterrent to this kind of death ball potential.
It's more important. It's more important for Radiant to have these spells of cooldown than it is for Serbia. Serbians, they should play around Kazakhstani's cooldowns actually, because you have the Medusa. Yeah, Stone Gaze is big, but it's not that big. At the same time, Sand King with his epicenter is important, but it's not as important as Warlock's ult or Dead Prophet's. Dead Prophet without ult is not really scary. Same can be said for, yeah, Warlock does have Fatal Bonds to work with, definitely, always, but the Rock is what you're worried about, right? That BKB huge AoE piercing ability.
And it feels like Kazakhstan, we keep seeing them get caught out because they seem to be missing their
AM
components.
just blinked into them.
I mean, you have an Aegis.
He has a gem as well.
Yeah, he's prepared. Actually going to drain the mana away from the Medusa.
Nice Mystic Snake.
Chasing her down with the Skadi. Much more effective against ranged heroes now. The roll through connects. Blast off won't change the outcome. Medusa gone for 80 seconds. LeBron will join her on the sideline for 50. Nikolica trying to escape from this. Has no mana to work with. Gets the final Remnant out, but he doesn't have the mana to move forward. It's trying to bottle up right now. Can they actually connect on this? Remnant
Gets
back
it.
and away just in time.
Yeah, just a perfect fight from them. They just now have to transfer that into a high ground push.
And they can, because the Exorcism has come off cooldown and will be committed. It's not level 3, but level 2 will be enough to get the tower. The buyback is forced out of Medusa. She has got a hard job ahead of her. Epicenter Power Strike, maybe a little bit too early though. And now the Arena trapping in the Sand King. Mistakes have been made. He didn't wait for the Medusa to show up to the fight. And as a result, he will fall. They've still got the Stone Gaze, but how do you really use it anymore? They're moving in, no mana. In fact, you can't use it at all. Roll through doesn't connect. But the Force Staff didn't get you far enough away. They'll chase on through. Slowing you down with the Skadi again. Medusa dead for 100 seconds after the dieback. And now Ember pinned against his own Ancient, which he's meant to defend. And he'll do so with his body. As he goes down, 60 seconds on the sideline. They'll turn around and look under the racks.
I don't think... Like, they have 2 tier 2s, but I don't think Kazakhstanis are going back. You still have the Aegis on AM. They're going to try and throw this right now. As you can see, yeah, instantly after the Raxes. There's no buyback on Duza. Even with the buyback on Ember, how do you defend? This Aegis is what? 1 minute and a half remaining.
And that's enough time. The buyback comes out from Ember, but the Undying's there, buys back himself. He rooted up Mallet.
Yo, they can mine the fountain and hope for the best.
They can hope they don't get found though. They
hope that they dive you on the fountain, and that's how you defend.
They can protect their own shop. That's what they can do. Rock gets dropped on the free. The damage. Fatal Bonds coming into effect. LeBron, he used to exist a long time ago. The Xi'an chains, will it get the kill? Just about under the Earth Spirit. God damn, did have the Shadow Word, but he chose not to use it. And now the Sun's coming out the Sand King, chasing forward, looking on down to half HP already. Warlock stays alive. Sand King not so lucky though, down to the Mana Void. And now, used up, when Harry Freaks comes down, they want to actually farm more heroes and they'll go into the fountain. You said it was safe, but not anymore. The throne is exposed. It looks like this game is over as the GG comes out.
Yeah, GG called by Harry Freak. And yeah, 7 esports taking, well, what looked like a very convincing performance early on. Did not end in a very convincing fashion, as they had a couple of misplays here and there, but it never looked like